Shalom, shalom. As always, we're going to start off by giving all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and salutation to the Akim that scattered abroad is dwelling in truth and sincerity. With that, I say shalom. And before we start, we're going to say Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai. Dua to Yahweh Shimi Yahweh Shai. Allow the Akim to go out and teach and do another lesson. And as always, we're going to start with a scripture, and this is Isaiah 62:6. This is Isaiah 62:6, and it reads, I have set watchmen upon thy walls, O Jerusalem, which shall never hold their peace day nor night, yet they make mention of the Lord Yahweh. Keep not silence and give him no rest, till he establish, until he make Jerusalem a praise in the earth. So we're not supposed to give Esau and these heathens no rest till he establish, and make Israel praise in the earth. We're going to read it again, and give him no rest, We're not going to hold our peace day nor night, You got brothers putting out videos through the day and through the night, at all levels, You got the Lord man that's dealing with the milk, You got the elders that could go deep, you receive every level of this truth, If you looking for it, if you in the spirit, you gonna find it. You see the men who's trying to do the right thing, who's doing what Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai said to do, And the Lord said, you shall know these men by their fruit, You will see what they teaching, They not going off with the scriptures. They not interpreting the scriptures with their own vain interpretations, And we're going to go to Isaiah 52:8. So like these pages stick together. Okay, there we go. This is Isaiah 52:8, and it reads, Thy watchmen shall lift up the voice, with the voice together say, shall they sing, for they shall see eye to eye, when Yahweh shall bring again Zion. Break forth into joy, sing together, ye waste places of Jerusalem, for Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai hath comforted his people, he hath redeemed Jerusalem. We all singing that same song. We all in the same accordance, We all singing that same song. Meaning we all saying the same, we all have the same doctrine. We all saying that the mark of the beast is the chip. We all saying don't trust your enemies. We all singing the same song. Dancing and piping into that same song. Even Paul said, he begged us, brothers. We gonna get it. What is it? It's 1 Corinthians 1:10. We all supposed to be saying the same thing. This is 1 Corinthians 1:10, and it reads, Now I beseech you, brethren. This is Paul speaking. And he says, Now I beseech you, brethren, by the name of our Lord Yahweh Shai Mashiach, that we all speak the same thing. We all supposed to be speaking the same thing. We all supposed to be saying that who they said, John the Baptist he had the truth. He had the spirit. He was an Israelite. What's the other one? Cornelius. He's an Israelite. We all saying the same thing. We all not divided. Oh, this not the chip, it's a potato chip. No. Y'all playing with the Lord. And it reads that I beseech you, brethren. That beseech means he's begging. He says, he basically said, I beg you, brethren, by the name of our Lord, Yahweh Shai Mashiach, that we all speak the same thing. And that there be no divisions among you, but that you perfectly join together in the same mind and in the same judgment. That it hath been declared unto me of you, my brethren, by them which are the house of Chloe, that there are contentions among you. You know, we all supposed to be saying the same thing, all in unison, all speaking the same thing, not our vain interpretations. And then we're gonna go to this article. Let me pull it up. It's about the ex-military and about them getting inoculated, you know, because you got a lot of ex-military refusing to be inoculated, you know. And not only is they refusing it, they the government, or you know, whoever their higher ups is, they saying that if they don't take it, they gonna be what is it called, discharged. We gonna go to me, pull it up. I had it on my phone, but I ain't send it to this phone. Here you go, right here. This is the same one. It says hundreds of thousands of U.S. troops have not yet complied with vaccine mandates as deadlines near. They're not complying with it, you know, because they know it's some bullshit. It says hundreds of thousands of U.S. service members remain inoculated, you know, unvaccinated, or only partially vaccinated against the coronavirus, as the Pentagon's first compliance deadlines near, with lopsided rates across the individual services and a spike in deaths among military reservists, illustrating how political division over the shots have seeped into a nonpartisan force with unambiguous orders. It says overall the military's vaccination rate has climbed since August, when Defense Department leaders, acting on a directive from President Biden, informed the nation's 2.1 million troops that immunization will become mandatory. So they telling you that these vaccines will become mandatory, and it says exemptions will be rare, and those who refuse will be punished. So basically, if you go against the grain, he gonna punish you. If you don't want to get inoculated, he gonna punish you. If he doing this to the military, how much more for you American people, when the military supposed to be so-called fighting for your freedoms, you know? But it's all systematically being done. It says, yet troops' response has been scattershot, according to data assessed by the Washington Post. For instance, 90% of the active duty Navy is fully vaccinated, whereas just 72% of the Marine Corps is. The data shows even though both services share a November 28th deadline. In the Air Force, more than 60,000 personnel have just 3 weeks to meet the Defense Department's most ambitious deadlines. It says deaths attributed to COVID-19 have soared in parts of the force as some services struggle to inoculate their troops. In September, more military personnel died of coronavirus infections than in all of 2020. None of those who died were fully vaccinated, Pentagon spokesman Maj Charlie Deed said. You know, they pretty much, they want to get you the military vaccinated. But if you go on these TikToks, you know, they raging war against the people. They know what's going on. These ex-military that left, they'd rather get discharged and whatever they said, punished, you know, than rather to put poison into their system. You know, they would rather do that. They'd rather have a bad name, whatever, get dishonorably discharged from the military. I'd rather do that. And they saying, if you try to force us, you know, they willing to gun ho. You know, they willing to go gun ho with Esau. You know, and in the scriptures, the Lord say He gonna put the Egyptians against the Egyptians. You know, it's gonna be a civil war out here. You know, how does Edom doing all this research and Jake, you don't know what's going on around you? How is because Jake, you and your folly, you worrying about sports, you worrying about the club, you worrying about women and shit. When all sides is being about to be forced on you, you know? They about to hit you with, in order to go in the grocery store, you need to be vaccinated. To go to your sports games, you need to be vaccinated. You know? To go into a restaurant to have a good time, you need to get vaccinated. And they having this on all levels. You know? You see what's going on in LA and New York, you know? You even see Kyrie refusing this shit, you know? And that's a good thing for Kyrie to do, you know? That's a good thing, you know? We understand that he got to speak in code. He can't speak out like how we can speak out, you know? But at least he doing it, you know? Because he even said, it's like the whole world is going to shits. And people is just worried about fucking basketball, just worried about fucking folly. Like, y'all don't see what's going on around you in the world today, you know? That's what the brother's saying. And that's a brother who on a low level, you know, he always had a mind about himself, but that's a brother on a low level. He basically cussing y'all out. He calling y'all out. He telling y'all he not gonna be a sellout, you know? He calling y'all the fuck out. Like, it's shit going around the world, protests and mandates and Australia. Look at them. They saying that their government saying that if you basically a public health worker, you work at Walmart, guess what? You got to get vaccinated because you work with the public. They saying all this and they implementing draconian measures on you. Measures, Salakia. And we're going to go to Isaiah 19:2. Because you got to understand, the Lord blessed Esau with the sword, you know? And we're going to later get into that. But I'm just letting you know that, you know, that's their blessing. Our blessing is these scriptures. Our blessing is trusting in Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. That's what we supposed to be focused on. We're going to go to Isaiah 19:2. And it reads, Isaiah 19:2. Now will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians. And who's the Egyptians today? It's Esau. You know? It ain't of course it was talking about back then, but if you apply it to now, it's Esau, because while we in the hands of Esau Edom, you know? And it reads, and they shall fight everyone against his brother, and everyone against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom. And the spirit of Egypt shall fail in the midst thereof, never destroy the counsel thereof. And they shall seek to the idols, and to the charmers, and to them that have familiar spirits, and to the wizards. You know, when all these come things, they're going to be seeking after their idols, like, oh, deliver me, deliver me. The Lord ain't going to deliver you, you know? The Lord say he set Egyptians against the Egyptians. That's civil war. The Lord just pretty much just said there's going to be a civil war in this place, you know? And Babylon the Great, a.k.a. America, you know? You Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans need to get yourselves in order. Get your house in order so you can be exempt from these things. And we're going to go to Mark 3:24. This is Mark 3:24. And it reads, if a kingdom be divided against itself, that kingdom cannot stand. You know, if you got this kingdom, Salakia, it says if this kingdom be divided against itself, it means if Edom is divided against itself, how can it stand? How can this place continue to stand? You know, how long will it stand? It's not gonna be standing too much longer. Why? Because you got everybody on each side saying, no, we not for this place, or we are for this place. And it's basically it's gonna be the unvaccinated versus the vaccinated. Because the vaccinated saying, why you basically holding us up? We trying to hurry up and get back to normal, when this place is never gonna go back to normal, you know? And you got the unvaccinated saying, no, fuck you, you know? I'm not finna go put poison in my system just because you put poison in your system. And if that vaccine so did work, why you worried about me if you supposed to be protected? And it seems like that you not trusting in the thing that you put in your system to protect you. And I'm not finna do that same thing. That's basically what it is. You got the vaccinated versus the unvaccinated. In verse 25, and if a house be divided against itself, that house cannot stand. So the Lord is not going to allow this place to stand. Why? Because it's divided against itself. And because Esau Edom got to get taken out the power seat. In verse 26, if Satan rise up against himself and be divided, he cannot stand but have an end. That's why you that's why you Slocky. I'm gonna read that again. And if Satan rise up against himself and be divided, he cannot stand but have an end. That's why I say he knoweth he has a short time. Why? Why is he hurry up and try to rush, and he don't care who see him at this point? He just trying to hurry up and rush and get what his enterprise going. Because he know he have but a short time. He know. He seeing all these things. He see the prophets raising back up, no standing on their feet, prophesying and telling, and we calling upon our power, telling our people to get back in order, you know? We not supposed to follow after these heathen, not supposed to worship after these idols and false gods that our fathers did not know. That's what we doing. We telling them that the kingdom is at hand. Get yourselves together. And we're going to go to Matthew 12:25. This is Matthew 12:25, and it reads, and Yahushua knew their thoughts, and said unto them, every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation. So they're going to be brought to naught. This place going to be desolate, you know, because the Lord going to burn this motherfucker. And every city or house divided against itself shall not stand. And if Satan cast out Satan, he is divided against himself. How shall then this kingdom stand? How can this kingdom stand if both sides is divided against itself? You know? And Salakia, I just want to make sure the camera's still rolling. You know, sometimes I like to cut out and things of that nature. And I hate when it cut out on y'all and I get to the end of my lesson and I see everything that I've been talking about is gone, you know? Yeah, I'm still prophesying, you know, but I want to make sure it get out to y'all. That's why I keep doing that, just in case if y'all was wondering. We're going to read 26 again. If Satan cast out Satan, he is divided against himself. How shall then his kingdom stand? It's not going to stand. That because the Lord put a question right there. How can this kingdom stand? And the answer is, it's not going to stand at all. If you divide it, if this kingdom is divided against itself, it's not going to stand. And we're going to go to Genesis 27. Reason we're going to Genesis 27 because we about to show how did Esau get his blessing. You know, what did Yahweh Shem Shah bless him with? And I'm going to just read Genesis 27 on down, break down a little bit as we go down, and then when I get to the point, I'm going to break down that furthermore. And this is Genesis 27, verse 1. And it says, and it came to pass that when Isaac was old, and his eyes were dim, so that he could not see, he called Esau his eldest son, and said unto him, my son. And he said unto him, behold, here I am. You know, where Isaac was old, you know, old as hell. You know that because he said his eyes was dim. You know what happened when you get old? You start going blind, you know, and you not knowing what you see. And he said, behold, now I am old, I know not the day of my death. Now therefore take, I pray thee, thy weapons, thy quiver, and thy bow, go out to the field and take me some venison. So before Isaac passed away, he wanted to make sure he ate good, you know, before he, because he didn't know the day of his death. So he wanted to make sure he was eating good. And the spirit had to, well, we're going to keep going. We're going to keep going. I don't want to jump the gun. And make me savory meat, such as I love, and bring it to me, that I may eat, that my soul may bless thee before I die. And you know, like for instance, you know, because you want to make sure you eat good before you die. You know, just as if like if you get the electric chair or something in prison, they'll ask you, what do you want to eat? You know. And Rebekah heard when Isaac spake to Esau his son. Esau went to the field to hunt for venison and to bring it. And Rebekah spake unto Jacob her son, saying, behold, I heard thy father speak unto Esau thy brother, saying, bring me venison and make me savory meat, that I may eat and bless thee before Yahweh, before my death. So the spirit of the Lord hopped on Rebekah. You about to see how the spirit of the Lord hopped on Rebekah, you know. It says, now therefore my son, she was speaking to Jacob, obey my voice according to that which I command thee. Go now to the flock and fetch me from thence 2 good kids of the goats, and I will make them savory meat for thy father, such as he loveth. And thou shalt bring it to thy father, that he may eat, and that he may bless thee before his death. I want to break it down, but it's basically about to go into it. Why? Because if you start reading this, you was like, damn, why she? If Isaac just told Esau to go get him venison meat, why is she going to make venison, you know, for him, you know? And it's gonna break it down. And Jacob said to Rebekah, his mother, behold, Esau my brother is a hairy man, and I'm a smooth man. My father peradventure will feel me, and I shall seem to him as a deceiver, and I shall bring a curse upon me and not a blessing. so Jacob knew. It was like, but I'm not Esau. My father Isaac, he gonna know that I'm not Esau when I try to deceive him, pretty much. And his mother said unto him, upon me be thy curse, my son. Only obey my voice and fetch me them. Rebekah was like, don't worry about none of that. Let that be on me, you know. Allow me to handle this. Just do what I tell you to do, you know. The Spirit of the Lord was on Rebekah. I'm telling you. And he went and fetched and brought them to his mother, and his mother made savory meat, such as his father loved. So she cooked it up, you know, made it good for him. You know what I'm saying? The way that he liked it. And Rebekah took goodly raiment of her eldest son Esau, which were with her in the house, and put them upon Jacob, her younger son. So she put put some raiment, some clothing on Jacob, so he can be like Esau, pretty much the way how he feel and things, because you gotta understand Isaac was old, right? And they say his eyes was dim, so he couldn't tell by his eyes who it was, but he could only tell by his smell and by his other senses, his touch. In verse 16, she put the skins of the kids of the goats upon his hands and upon the smooth of his neck, because he said Esau is a hairy man, but I am a smooth man, so she had to pretty much put some clothes on him that's kind of rough, that's kind of hairy, so she could deceive, so Jacob can make it seem like he's actually Esau, but it's not Esau, it's Jacob. And she gave the savory meat and the bread which she had prepared into the hand of her son Jacob. She said, "Here, son, take this and give it to your father." And he came unto his father and said, "My father." And he said, "Here am I. Who art thou, my son?" And Jacob said unto his father, "I am Esau, thy firstborn." And this is where you finna see that the Spirit of the Lord was on Rebecca, because she did all this, you know what I'm saying? And she knew what she was doing. She knew what she was doing. She overheard the conversation from Isaac and Esau. She was like, "Oh, nah, And it says, I'm going to read it again. Oh, and it says, "And Jacob said unto his father," this is verse 19, "And Jacob said unto his father, I am Esau, thy firstborn. I have done according as thou badest me. Arise, I pray thee, sit and eat of my venison, that my soul may bless me." And Isaac said unto his son, "How is that thou hast found it so quickly?" He said, "Hold on. I just told you to go out, take your quiver, your bow, and go give me some venison. How the hell you do it that quickly?" You know what I'm saying? He was like, he was thinking. And he said, "Because Yahweh thy power brought it to me." Hey, the Spirit of the Lord was on Rebecca. And Isaac said unto Jacob, he says, "Come near, I pray thee, that I may feel thee, my son, whether that be my very son Esau or not." So, he was thinking, he was like, "Yeah, I don't think this is my son Esau." He said, "Hold on, let me feel you." He said, "Let me touch you." And he says, Jacob went near to Isaac his father, and he felt him and said, "The voice is Jacob's voice." Because if you know your children, you know who voice is whose and whose, right? He said, but nah. He said that's how he was contemplating. He was like, "Nah, this can't be Esau. Let me feel you." And it says, and Jacob went near unto Isaac his father, and he felt him and said, "The voice is Jacob's voice, but the hands are the hands of Esau." It's that clothing that Rebecca put on him. It's like, well, it is Esau's. So, and he did say he was Esau, so he was, leaning towards it was really Esau. But he still wasn't sure too much. And it reads 23, "And he discerned him not, because his hands was hairy as his brothers Esau's hands, so he blessed him." Meaning he didn't know, so he was like, he discerned him not, meaning he didn't know who he was, so he just took it as if he was really Esau. And he says, "Art thou my very son Esau?" And he said, "I am." He was still worried though, and he said, "I am Esau." And he said, "Bring it near to me, and I will eat of my son's venison, that my soul may be blessed." And he brought it near to him, and he did eat, and he brought him wine, and he drank. And his father Isaac said unto him, "Come near now, kiss me, my son." So Isaac was trying to do something slick, he said, come near and kiss me, because he was really trying to smell him. And it's going to break that down. And he came near and kissed him, and he smelt the smell of his raiment and blessed him, and said, "See, the smell of my son is as the smell of a field, which Yahweh have blessed." He didn't want him to kiss him just to kiss him. He wanted to smell him. You know, he tried to. He said, "Okay, yeah, that is how Esau smell." You know. Therefore, the Most High give thee of the dew of heaven, and the fatness of the earth, and plenty of corn and wine. It says, "Let people serve thee, and the nations bow down to thee. Be Lord over thy brethren, and let thy mother's sons bow down to thee. Cursed be everyone that curses thee, and blessed be he that blesses thee." So our blessings was these scriptures, you know. And it came to pass, as soon as Isaac had made an end of blessing Jacob, and Jacob yet scarce going out of his presence of Isaac his father, he was like, "Hey, I'm going to get up out of here." That Esau, his brother, came in from his hunting. Esau came in at this time. He was like, "Okay, my father finna bless me," right? And he about to cook up that venison. And he also made savory meat and brought it unto his father, and said unto his father, "Let my father arise and eat of his son's venisons, that his soul may bless me." And Isaac, his father, said unto him, "Who art thou?" And he said, "I am thy son, thy firstborn Esau." And Isaac trembled very exceedingly, and said, Who is he that hath taken venison and brought it to me? Now I have eaten of all before thou camest, and have blessed him. Yeah, and he shall be blessed." So he was like, "So who was that came to me, that brought me venison? That, you know what I'm saying, his hair was like Esau's, his smell was of Esau's, you know." But then he found out it wasn't Esau. It says, "And when Esau heard the words of his father, he cried with a great and exceeding bitter cry." He was boo-hooing, you know. Esau was boo-hooing. It says, with an exceedingly bitter cry. And said unto his father, "Bless me, even me also, O my father." And he said, "Thy brother came with subtlety, and have taken away thy blessing." You know, Isaac said, "Hey, your brother came and took your blessing." You know, hey, Esau was worried about shit. I know you. Esau was worried like, shit, I know you got more than one blessing. You know, you just can't have one blessing for one child and not have one for the other. I gotta have something. You had to. He was in a mind frame that if you gave me my blessing, you had to give something to Jacob, because Jacob took his blessing. So he had to give something to Jacob. In verse 36, and he said, Is not he rightly named Jacob? For he has supplanted me these 2 times. Why did Esau say that? Because you gotta understand, when he said he supplanted me 2 times, the first time is when he sold his birthright unto Jacob. That's why he said he supplanted me 2 times. Just in case if you didn't know what he was talking about when he said he supplanted me 2 times, is when Esau was in the field, he was hunting and everything, and Esau was hungry, you know, and that was what's that, a prelude to what's really going on now, because Esau was hungry, and he said, okay, Jacob was like, okay, shit, sell me your birthright then, you know, because you ain't just finna eat and I don't get nothing. And he said, send me your birthright. He said, I don't care. Basically, Esau said, I don't care about my birthright. You know, I just care about me getting something to eat, because he was on the verge of death, you know. But little did he know, Esau should have known that it was better to die the death than to give up his birthright. That's why we got the blessing. That's why the Spirit of the Lord hopped on Rebecca, you know, because really the firstborn supposed to inherit the blessing. That's why he said unto Esau, go give me venison and I will bless thee. Because really the firstborn supposed to get the blessing, you know. But he sold his birthright, you know, and gave it to Jacob. That's why the Spirit of the Lord hopped on Rebecca to prepare venison to make it seem as if Jacob was Esau. And that was the Spirit of the Lord, that how he wanted it to go down. And verse 36, and it's going to say it right here. And he said, it's not he rightly named Jacob, for he has supplanted me 2 times. He took away my birthright, just as I was explaining. You know, the first time he took away his birthright. Why? Because he sold it onto him for pottage. And behold, now he has taken away my blessing. And he said, hast thou not reserved the blessing for me? And Isaac answered and said unto Esau, behold, I have made him thy lord, and all his brethren have I given to him for servants, and with corn and wine have I sustained him. And what shall I do now unto thee, my son? And And Esau said unto his father, hast thou but one blessing, my father? Bless me, even me also, O my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept. He was weeping like, damn, I know you got a blessing for me. And Isaac, his father, answered and said unto him, and here's the point of what I was getting into about Esau. What is his blessing? You know, and we about to get into it about what his blessing is. That's why if you eat them, because I know people at work that tell me they got arsenals of this. I ain't gonna say it because I'm gonna read it first. And it says, and his father answered and said unto him, behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth, and the dew of heaven from above, and by thy sword shalt thou live. And how's Esau living? By the sword. How did he come to, when he got to America, what happened? He lived by the sword. He killed the Native Americans that was in this land, you know, which was Gad, you know. That's why it says a troop shall overcome you, Gad, but at the last, it says at the last you shall overcome them, so to speak, roughly paraphrasing. Because he killed them with the sword, you know. Eventually got to the point where Gad was showing them how to live off the land. He was showing them what to do when the winter comes, you know. And then Esau started killing them, you know. And at that point, Gad was, you know, because he knew how to live and everything, you know, because you can't trick a man that been over here, basically coming to his home field. You know, you can't come to a person's home field and think you're gonna have an advantage. And that's what Gad was doing. They call it guerrilla warfare, and they will kill them and take their weapons and things like that. But then the game changed when Esau brought out that Gatling gun and started killing them, and they couldn't fuck with it, you know. And that's how the troop overcame Gad. And it says, and by thy sword shalt thou live, and shalt serve thy brother. And it shall come to pass, when thou shalt have the dominion, thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck. You know? So that's what I was saying with the Egyptians against the Egyptians, because what's the modern day swords today? It's guns. That's why you probably hear Esau, you know, boasting in his blessing, which is that sword. You know, because I'm on like I'm at work, right? And I got this old Jake telling me, you know, you're like, don't play with Joe, whatever, you know. He got a whole arsenal of weapons, you know. Not knowing what he's saying unto me, I was like, and in my head, I'm saying like, I know, I could believe it, because that's his blessing, you know. And then that's the spirit of Esau. It says, thou shalt live by the sword. And that's pretty much the point of how civil war gonna be in this place, because everybody got guns now. Even Jake got guns. You know, they trying to take up Esau's blessing when that ain't his blessing. his blessing in these scriptures. Jake blessing is calling upon our power, Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. That's our blessing. We're not supposed to walk after the way of these heathens walk. You know, that's not our customs. You let them walk that way, you know. And then we're going to go to Deuteronomy 28 and 15. We're going to switch gears. So like, I want to make sure it's still running for y'all. Okay, Con. This is Deuteronomy 28 and 15, and it reads, "But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of Yahweh thy power, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee." So all these curses that we feeling it, why we on the bottom of the totem pole, why we have nothing, why we don't have luxury businesses and things of that nature, why we have nothing of substance, why we can't pass down things to our sons from generation to generation. Why? Because these curses overtook us, you know, because we was leading a life of death, of evil, you know, and most of our people still are. They still smoking weed, getting tatted up, still eating pork, defiling their bodies, you know, still smoking weed and things of that nature, you know, still thinking that Yahweh Shai is a white man, which they call him Jesus, you know. They still dwelling in churches, you know. The Lord say he don't dwell in temples made by hands, you know. And we're going to go to 1 John 3 and 4. And this is sin. This is why we at the bottom, because you to understand what his statutes and commandments is. So what is sin, you know? You got to understand what is sin is for us to stop sinning against our power. We got to know what is sin, and this is sin. 1 John 3 and 4, and it reads, "Whomsoever committeth sin transgresseth against the law, for sin is the transgression of the law." So sin is the transgression of the law. You know the law, right? And you see it all through what? Exodus through, I want to say, hold on. Exodus through Numbers, I believe, or Deuteronomy, you know. And you look at the laws and you're observing to do all the laws, you will see what sin is. And if you do contrary to the laws, that is sin, you know. If I tell you don't eat pork, you know, and you decide to eat pork anyway, you just sin. If I tell you on the Sabbath day don't have sexual relations with your woman, and you do it anyway, that is sin, you know. And I'm just showing you what is sin. So you can't have it. So you can't say I didn't know what sin is, and I'm sitting here telling you what is sin. And you got to read and observe to do what's in this book first and foremost, so you can know fully, you know, what is everything that I shouldn't be doing. And the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai understand that you can't perform everything, you know, in this lifetime because of who hand we are in, which is Esau Edom. And we gonna go to Romans 6 and 23. This is Romans 6 and 23, and it reads, "For the wages of sin is death, but the gift of the Most High is eternal life through Yahweh Shai Mashiach our Lord." So the wages of sin is death. If you keep sinning, don't think you're not gonna die. That's why the Lord said, what is it? I just had it in my brain. Lord said, whoever perished being innocent. Because he said the wages of sin is death. You can't sit here and tell me every people haven't been walking their lives in perfectness. You can't sit here and tell me everybody been walking their life in being straight perfect. There's only one that did that, and that was Yahweh Shai. That was the only one that did it. And we're going to go to Ezekiel 9 and 4. This is Ezekiel 9 and 4. And it reads, and Yahweh said unto him, go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem, and set a mark upon the foreheads of the men that sigh and cry for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof. You know, the Lord says, go set a mark, the ones that's doing right, you know, that took heed to, okay, this is sin, okay, I'm not gonna do that, you know, because Yahweh Shai said not to do that. And the Lord said, if you transgress against the law, that these curses gonna overtake you. And we woke up to the fact that we are Israelites, that the Negroes, Latino, and Native Americans are my brothers. We are all of the same nation, but of a different tribe. We understand it, and we looking and we seeing, you know. He said, go set a mark upon all those. It's like we're gonna read it again, so I don't want to misstep it. Where we at? What's this? Ezekiel 9 and 4. And it says, Yahweh said unto them, go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem, meaning you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, because Jerusalem is a people before it's a place, and set a mark upon the foreheads of the men that sigh and that cry for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof. You know, who sign and cry to Yahweh Shai. Lord said, go set a mark upon them. And now mark is that the Wah. Not the mark of the beast. But this is a different mark. The Wah means the mark of exemption. And to the others he said, in my hearing, go ye after him through the city and smite. Let not your eyes spare, neither have ye pity. So he was telling the angels to go through the midst of the city and smite them. Everybody who don't have the mark, you know, go kill their ass, because we just read that the wages of sin is death. In verse 6 it says, and you about to see how cold the Lord is. In verse 6 you about to see how cold the Lord is. Now it says we have no respect of persons. In verse 6, slay utterly old and young, both maids and little children and women. It says, but before y'all do that, come not near any man upon who is the mark, and begin at my sanctuary. It says, before you go out and kill all those who don't have basically it says, but come not near any man whom is the mark, you know. So right now, you supposed to be Lord willing that the Lord has put a mark upon your forehead, which is that the Wah, you know. And when they come, Lord willing, that it don't come upon you. And began at my sanctuary. Who's the Lord's sanctuary? You Israelites. You Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. You are the Lord's sanctuary. You are the apple of the Lord's eye. It says, then they began at the ancient men which were before the house. And he said unto them, defile the house and fill the courts with the slain. Go ye forth. And they went forth and slew the city. And it's going to be likewise over here, you know. Death angels going to be out here. and they're going to go through slaying. They may slay you with the sword. It may be the pestilence. It may be, the frequencies, 5G. It may, however the Lord gets you. However the Lord gets you. But it is some men on our side that have to die as well, But that's an honorable death. That's not a death that is, it's like a 2/3, because we have to get beheaded. But that is for the testimony of Yahweh Shai. In verse 8, and it came to pass while they were slaying them, and I was left, and I fell upon my face and cried and said, Yahweh power, wilt thou destroy all the residue of Israel, and thou pouring out of thy fury upon Jerusalem? Ezekiel was like, damn, you're going to destroy all of us? You know what I'm saying? Because you got to understand, if Ezekiel was saying that, you got to understand in his brain how much killing there really was. And that's what's going to happen in this place. How much is the Lord going to kill? The Lord's going to kill utterly old, young, little children, maids, young women. The Lord going to do away with everybody unless you had that mark. And he says, then he said unto me, the iniquity of the house of Israel and Judah is exceeding great. Why? Because y'all doing everything but what Yahweh Shem Yahushua said. You can't say the Lord don't have mercy, because he lets you live in wickedness, and then he's calling you out of wickedness, and he allowing you to have a grace period so you could perform righteousness. And some of y'all still not taking heed to the word of the Lord. So you can't say the Lord ain't merciful. You can't say you haven't heard this truth. You can't say you don't know who the Israelites are. You got Kyrie know who the Israelites are. You got these top comedians, DC Young Fly know who the Israelites are. Ice Cube know who the Israelites are. Nick Cannon know who the Israelites are. So you're not finna sit here and tell me you don't know who the Israelites are. You saw one way or another. Either you walked by them, you heard them, you know some way or some form who the Israelites were. Whether it was you swiped up on the video on YouTube, you saw them on Facebook posting, you know by some way, some form who the Israelites are. So the Lord ain't about to pity y'all. He's not about to spare you. It says, let not they spare, neither have pity. That's what Yahweh Shem Yahushua told him. And it says, then said unto me, the iniquity of the house of Israel and Judah is exceeding great, and the land is full of blood, and the city full of perverseness. For they say, Yahweh hath forsaken the earth, and Yahweh seeth not. And as for me also, my eye shall not spare, neither will I have pity, but I will recompense their way upon their head. Lord said He's gonna recompense their way upon their head. Oh, you wanna live your life in sin? What's the wages of sin? That was the part of me going over what is sin. What is the wages of sin? That was the whole part of me going over that. So when it gets to the point where the Lord start dropping bodies, you go know why. We go to Revelations 13 and 14. So you understand that there's a difference between the Wah mark, which is the mark of exemption, and the mark of the beast. This is Revelations 13 and 14. And it reads, and deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles which he had power to do in the sight of the beast. It's Esau saying to them that dwell on the earth, that they should make an image to the beast which the womb by a sword and did live. So he making an image to the beast, and that the image is, hold on, let me see. 13 and 14. And it reads, and deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles which he had power to do in the sight of the beast. It's Esau saying to them that dwell on the earth, that they should make an image to the beast which the womb by a sword and did live. So he making an image to the beast, and that the image is, and did live, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, and the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast shall be killed. And what's that beast? This society you going along with Esau plans, you know, and that in what it's about to get into right here, and it causes all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. And what is that? It's that chip. It's the RFID microchip. That's what that is. You're not supposed to put that inside you. You're not supposed to consent unto Esau. You're not supposed to, whatever he trying to do, you better get the far fuck away from it. The Lord says it's going to be a hour of temptation, you know. Lord said if you keep his sin, he will also keep you from the same. So you're not supposed to get that RFID chip. That better be the last thing. If you get the RFID chip, you signed away your life. You signed away your soul. You signed away everything that you motherfucking have or have. It's all temporal. But you're supposed to fear the one that can kill both body and soul, not just the body. And it says, here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it's the number of a man, and its number is 666. And that's 666 pretty much. That's the number of him. And I don't know if y'all saw this, but when Joe Biden said whether it's gonna happen, whether it happen in what, 6 days, 6 weeks, or 6 months, it's gonna happen. And that was the number of the man, which is 666. That's how you know who it is. And we're gonna go to Ecclesiasticus 12 and 10. We're gonna tell you why you're not supposed to get it. And that's a commandment also, not to mark any mark upon thy flesh. And this is Ecclesiasticus or Sirach 12 and 10. And it says, never trust thy enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. So you're never supposed to trust these heathens, no matter how cool you think they might be, you know, or any of that. It says, though he humble himself and go crouching, you know, he might humble himself thinking he for you and he not for you. And it says, yet take good heed and beware of him. Thou shalt be unto him as if thou hast wiped a looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rust has not been altogether wiped away. So you're not supposed to trust these heathens. You're not supposed to trust Esau. You can't even trust 2/3 of our own people. It's like you make sure it's still running. Con. We're going to go to Psalms 55. Now let's see what, nah, this ain't it. This ain't it. I know what the one it is. We're going to Psalms 55. Verse 21. And it reads, Psalms 55 and 21. The words of his mouth, talking about Esau, the words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. He gonna tell you, my brothers, my black brothers, my black sisters, that we trying to help you. We trying to, you know, do these things for you. When has the Esau, the so-called white man, ever tried to help us? When? In the Tuskegee experiment, he ain't never tried to help us. Never. And it reads, the words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords. He trying to use his words to try to get you into that, to draw you into that trap. That's what they words is good for. You know, he tried to The devil means just deceiver. That's all the word devil mean. It ain't no goddamn red with a serpent's tail and a pitchfork. That's not who the devil is. The devil is Esau, Edom. And we're going to read that again. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords. Who you think they trying to push to get this inoculated? Who you think it is? He said you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. You hear from his mouth. He ain't worried about everybody else. He know who the chosen people are. And we're going to go to Proverbs 26 and 24. This is Proverbs 26 and 24. And it reads, he that hateth disassembleth with his lips, and layeth up deceit within him. When he speaketh fair, believe him not, for there are 7 abominations in his heart, whose hatred is covered by deceit. His wickedness shall be showed before the whole congregation. And his wickedness is being shown, you know. His wickedness is being shown. He robbed us, you know. He took away our whole heritage. That's why you don't know who you are. You call yourself African Americans when you not African American. You can't be from 2 damn different lineages. And why is it that you are only called American? Why is it that all the other people are not called American but you? They don't say Chinese American, they say Chinese. They don't say Japanese American, they say Japanese. Oh, he Japanese. You know? They say he Asian. Oh, he Korean. But you African American. Come on now, that don't make fucking sense. And we're going to go to Psalms 139 and 21. And this is what King David said. And this is King David words right here. And this is 139 and 21. And it reads, do I not hate them, O Lord Yahweh, that hateth thee? And am I not grieved with those that rise up against thee? I hate them with perfect hatred. I count them my enemies. Search me, O power, and know my heart. Try me and know my thoughts. And see if there be any wicked way in me, and lead me in the way of understanding. So King David says, am I wrong for hating those who hate me? Is there any wicked thing in me? No, because I hate them that hate thee. You know, that's what King David said. And I can tell you, he's not wrong. It ain't nothing wrong with hating your enemies. But y'all want to love them. What you want to love them for when they did nothing good for you? We're going to go to Deuteronomy 13 and 8. This is Deuteronomy 13 and 8, and it reads, thou shalt not consent unto him, nor hearken unto him, neither shalt thou eye pity him, neither shalt thou spare, neither shalt thou conceal him. You know, so anyway they talking about, oh, this is a good thing, don't believe that shit. I don't give a fuck what nobody talking about. You better not believe that shit. They say, oh, this is something good for you. You know, it's not. Think about it. Why they got food and drug administrating linked together? You know, that don't make fucking sense. Why would food and drugs be linked together? Because they feeding you bullshit. They feeding you genetic modified food. But they say, oh, it's good, you know, it ain't nothing wrong with it. Yes, the fuck it is. Otherwise, why the if it wasn't nothing wrong with it when you fuck with it. You know what I'm saying? Because the Lord say he made everything and it was good. And then we gonna get into Isaiah 13 and 15. And this what's gonna happen if you are found consenting unto Esau. You know, you took that mark of the beast. You with Esau game plan. You with whatever he got going on. And it says, everyone that is found shall be thrust through. Everyone that is joined unto them shall fall by the sword. So if you join unto Esau, you with whatever Esau got going on, you with him killing majority of your people, the Lord is going to thrust through your wicked ass. Because the Lord say start at my sanctuary. You know? So with that, Lord will, it was edifying. You know, Lord will, you got something out of that. Lord will, I gave you some history. Lord will, that I didn't say anything that was wrong or going off, you know, Lord willing. You know, so with that, we're going to give our praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakadash. Double honor to the apostle and elders of Great Millstone. And salutation to the Akim that scattered abroad, that's dwelling in truth and sincerity. With that, I say Shalom.